So, you've been working on your Polymer 80 Glock 19 build. This thing is sweet. The action, like butter. You're ready to take this mofo to the range and see what it can do. But something is missing. What is it? What could it be? Sights. What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Beard Bourbon Bang, where tonight we are talking about Polymer 80 Glock 19 builds. To be more specific, Polymer 80 PF940C build. The C being compact. So basically we're talking a Polymer 80 Glock 19. As you can see, this one is pretty far along. Really the only thing left to do on this one is to put some sights on it, as you saw from the intro. So what we're going to do is put some Ameriglow GFB 103s, which is a red fiber optic front, which will be here, and a blacked out rear notch sight. So that's really all we got left to do. But the main part of this video, the purpose of the video, besides getting sights on this pistol, is to show you the tool that I'm going to use to do it, and that is the Universal Pistol Rear Sight Tool, made by VISM, which is a division of NC Star. NC Star makes a lot of AR-15 parts and tools and whatnot, but this is pretty much a universal rear sight pusher that I'm going to show you. And I've put some sights on a few pistols already with this tool. And it is sweet. I hate to give the review away this early, but I like this tool. The other tool that we're going to be using is a front sight installation tool by Fixer, Fixxer, Fixer brand. So that's really the two tools we're going to be using to get these sights on. And if you go to, I'll have the products linked in the description below, and you can get all the details of this build, pretty much every piece and part that this pistol consists of, on the website on beardbourbonbang.com. Check it out under firearm builds. This will be Polymer 80 Glock 19 build number 1. And like I say, I'm going to have builds 2, 3, 4 will be other Glock 19s, and I've also got a full-size G17 frame to build out as well. So lots more to come, but for now, let's get these sights on. All right, let's get into the rear sight pusher. All right, comes in a nice case, nice foam packaging that holds all your bits and pieces that you'll need for it. Let's get this thing out. All right. So as you can see, basically the rear slide is going to sit on this little rotating disc, and it rotates counterclockwise to raise it, clockwise to lower it, so you can work on slides of any height. And then of course your side blocks here will allow you to work on slides of any width and basically lock this thing in place. So really what I want to do is get the center of the slide right over the top of that Allen head there on this platform. Center of the slide there, bring in the right side, bring in the left side, get it all nice and cinched down. And this tool also, as you can see, has a knob that pushes down from the top to lock the slide in from the top as well. So when you got your slide locked in this thing, it is not going to move. first things first, it comes with these non-marring little inserts that go, as you can see, they only fit one way. They go into these little side pieces so that you don't scratch your slide all up. So let's put the right one in and put the left one in. They just slide right in. All right, and the pad already comes pre-installed on the pusher that comes down from the top. So we are good to go and lock this thing in the vise. Start doing some sight pushing. All right, I'm gonna mount the tool in the vise. Quick note before we do that, I've got these non-marring magnetic vise jaws, 4 magnets on each one. Drop it right on your vise. They're really nice. Keep you from scratching up any material that you put in it. You can tighten it down as tight as you want. I'll have a link in the description of this video to check these out on Amazon, and they'll also be listed along with everything used in this build on the website. Anyway, let's lock this thing down. I just want to make sure the little rotating platform here is above the level of the vise jaws. Crank her down nice and tight. That is not going anywhere. And then we need to clear this weapon. Drop the mag. Rack it back, lock it open. As you can see, no round in the chamber. No mag. This weapon is clear. Now we can take it down. Slide comes off. All right. Let's go ahead and take the recoil spring out. Drop the barrel. All right. What we're going to do before we put the slide in the tool is we are going to just hand start the rear sight in this dovetail notch, just like that. So basically push it on as much as you can by hand, and that gets it started. Then we are going to be able, once we open this thing up, open the left side so we can put the slide in with this rear sight off to the side like that. Slide the tool, slide the pusher all the way to the left. All right, now we're getting somewhere. All right, hold it steady. Basically, we want the center of the pusher to be centered over the rear dovetail. And then hold it there, bring the left side in. So now we're nice and tight. Tighten up the left, tighten up the right. And then we can run down the top. Get it nice and locked in, which we are. All right. We are ready to start cranking. Don't know if you can see on here, but it's actually printed right on the handle that turns the pushing mechanism over here. It's 15 millimeter hex head, and I have a 15 millimeter socket ready to go. So we're just going to put it right on the side. And well, let's go ahead and get it touching the rear sights first. There we go. And we're ready to push this thing on. So I'm going to try to zoom in here so you can actually see this thing pushing this rear side on. Very, very easy. This does not require a lot of force. It's a really nice tool. So basically, we are drifting this slide over. The alternative to this, as you know, is taking a hammer and a brass punch, locking this thing in a vise, and just beating the hell out of it to slide that sight over. This is just such a much more controlled way to do it. And the main thing here is, as this sight is moving over, we just want to make sure we get it centered on the slide. So basically we're going to look at the distance between the edge, the base of the edge of the base of the rear sight in relation to the edge of the slide, and just try to match that up on both sides, which we're getting pretty close. This sight is just about the width of the inside of the bevel on top of this frame. So actually that might be it right there. But just so you know, if you happen to push it too far, all you got to do, back this thing off. If you push the sight too far to the right, just back it off, start running it the other way, and you can push it back to the left. So it's very, very cool. Let's see if I can get a light in here. It is just inside the left edge. It is just inside the right edge. I swear, I think that's the dead center. You can't really tell until you get it out of the tool. I mean, you can get an idea, but let's take it out of there and have a look at it. Let's release the top. Loosen up the left a hair, loosen up the right a hair. Slide her out. See if I can get this in the viewfinder. But that is what we're talking about right there. That's about perfect. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. I'm going to take this to the range. Take this to the range tomorrow and sight it in, but man, that looks good. All right, let's move to the front sight. Rear sight in, just like that. Super easy. All right, now we're going to move on to getting the front sight in that hole right there. It's kind of a, as you can see, it's not round, it's kind of an oval shaped hole. And it is so close to the front edge of this slide. That is why it requires this nice little front sight installation tool. See how thin the walls are of this little hex head wrench? That is just thin enough to hug the end of that little screw and basically screw this sight right in. So this is the easy part. We're going to use some blue Loctite thread locker. Just need a little Q-tip. Apply a little here. And then it's actually easy if you just put the screw right into the end of the tool to hold it. Then we can just apply the blue Loctite, and as they say, a little dab will do you. That's about all we need. Trying to keep this in frame for you. Alright, is plenty of thread locker. Alright, let's just set aside. You definitely see how the base of the side is off to one end. You definitely don't want it. You definitely don't want part of the side hanging off the front of the slide. So it only goes one way. Turn it around. So the long part of the front side is facing back at the shooter. So it's going to sit in there like that. And now you see why the oval hole is there. It basically keeps the front sight from rotating too much. So that's in there. Now, see if we can get this thing to thread. And we did. First try. Super easy. Let's just make sure everything is nice and straight. And then it is ready to cinch down. Wow, and that fiber optic red looks like it is electric. Again, these are Ameriglow. The model of these is a GFB 103, GFB-103, and that is it. So now we have, let's see if we can get you a view there. That is sweet. It's thin enough where you get a little space on either side of the front post, inside that rear notch, which is a little bit better for accuracy, so it doesn't just fill up the entire deal. I like that a lot, and I just like how bright it is. Nice bright red dot up front. Alright, we're good to go. We can drop the barrel in, drop the recoil spring back in, compress it a little bit, get it down in the notch. It's good to go. Pop it right on the frame. And we now, if I can get behind the viewfinder here, see what we can see. Wow, this is odd trying to aim this way. But there you go. That's what we're looking like. Like I say, I'm going to try to take this to the range tomorrow. Put some first shots down range with it. See how everything goes. Make sure we function correctly. But dry firing functions great. See the reset. I put a set of Wolf springs in this thing. Competition spring pack. Put a Ghost 3.5 pound connector in it. That lightened about a 5 3/4 to 6 pound stock trigger pull down to just under 4 pounds, which is right where I like it on my Glocks. But anyway, there you go. We have sights installed. Anyway, review wise, I think I've said it. I think I've said enough already. The VISM rear sight pusher, worth every penny. I think this thing was like 45 bucks if I'm not mistaken, but like I say, check it out in the description below on Amazon and on the website beardbourbonbang.com. Same thing, the Fixer front sight tool. Both these tools get a huge thumbs up from me. I mean, it would be ridiculously difficult to drift that rear sight in that dovetail in a controlled manner without something like this. I'm not about beating my slide up with a brass punch. Anyway, all right, folks. Good to see you. We'll see you in the next video. Later. Good to go? Okay. Eight out of 8.
This is a Chuki Beat production.